Hey everybody, Dan Furr here, and today I want to tell you about the 10 best things about the Novation Bass Station 2. Now these might not be the best things for everybody, but these are 10 of my favorite things that make it one of my all-time favorite synths. Now this was the first synth I ever got, and it was the first synth that got me into synthesis at all. So it holds a place near and dear to my heart, and I hope after watching this video you can enjoy the synth as much as I do. Cheers! So the first thing I want to talk about is the fact that the bass station has two types of distortion on it, one pre-filter and one post-filter. So you can hear that the distortion pre-filter is very gentle and a little bit more subtle, but the post-filter distortion is very gritty and allows you to get some heavy sounds. Number 2 on the list is that the bass station has practically no menu diving. There's a few function keys, but other than that, everything is easily accessible within a button. So you can see Oscillator 1 and 2 actually share some controls, and the envelopes also seem to share some controls, but everything is completely achievable by just flicking a switch and then you can get to the other one. So there's not really menu diving at all. Everything is so easily accessible and right there. So it's great for learning synthesis and great for sound design. Number 3 on my list is that the bass station has an amazing analog filter. The filter was designed by Chris Huguet of Wasp, so you know it's got some power and some grit to it. So you can see the bass station has all different kinds of filters, from a classic to an acid filter, as well as low pass, band pass, and high pass, all sounding very amazing. Number 4 on my list is just a simple one, but it's the fact that it can actually be powered via USB. There's no battery power, but the fact that you can use power from either the USB or from the wall is just a very good source to have, and it just makes it a much more of a on-the-go and easy-to-use setup that would work for anyone. When we look at the back here, we can just see that it's got the option to plug in power via USB or the regular power 9-volt power cable there. So you've got your options, and it's just a good thing to have. The next thing that's amazing about this synth is it's very easy to learn synthesis on because it actually tells you how to get back to your presets. If you look at the menu on the bass station, you'll see that there's just really a numerical system. All you see is a number. But when you start to adjust parameters, you actually see that there's a little red dot that's pointing either upwards or downwards. So you see how those little red dots move to the top to the bottom? That's just letting you know that the value of the preset is either higher or lower than what you have the knob at. So it makes it really easy to learn synthesis and really easy to get back to your presets for live programming. Number 6 is that the DCOs on this synth are actually extremely powerful. The way the bass station is programmed kind of just ignores subtle tuning and detuning that allows for some very rich and warm oscillators. You can hear with a little bit of variation, those oscillators instantly start to sound rich and pleasing and full. So they're super strong, super nice sounding. Number 7 on the list is that the Bass Station has a super powerful suboctave. It allows you to go 1 or 2 octaves below, and it has 3 different wave shapes. One is even pulse width modulation that's linked up to oscillator 1. So you can see with that sub-oscillator linked to oscillator 1, we can get some very rich harmonics, especially because we can have 3 different wave shapes, especially the pulse width modulation, making for a very powerful sub-oscillator. Number 8 on my list is that it has a very strong dedicated mixer section. Having one knob per each function makes it very easy to control and program your sounds on the go, because you can just mix things in and out however you want. Number 9 on my list is that the Bass Station actually has a very capable sequencer. You're actually able to save 4 different sequences per patch, and they can be up to a 32-step sequence, so it's very capable. Not only is the sequencer capable, it's actually pretty easy to use. All I had to do is put it in record mode and then start playing in the notes, and it would instantly record the sequence and be able to play back instantaneously. It's super easy and super fun to use. Number 10 is that there's debatably 6 different sound sources on the synth, which is super powerful for this size synth and for the price. So you can see we have oscillators 1, 2, the sub-oscillator, the noise oscillator, there's the ring noise oscillator, and then there's also the external noise oscillator, which you can actually plug in any external sound source you want and run it through the Bass Station's parameters. So you can see on the back there's this external audio input, which allows you to just input any audio you want and run it through the Bass Station. And surprise, I love this synth so much I had to pick an 11th point just because it's so amazing. And the last point I want to discuss here is the Oscillator Filter Mod. And what that does is it modulates the filter by oscillator 2 and allows you to get some really crazy growly type sounds. So you can instantly hear the growly difference that Oscillator Filter Mod makes. It's crazy and it's super powerful and it's so fun to use. So I hope you enjoyed my favorite 11 things about the Bass Station 2. It is an amazing synth and I hope you all learned something about it because it's well worth the $400. So if you were at all on the fence about picking up this synth, I highly recommend it because it will not let you down. As always, if you ever have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to answer them. And always, have a good one. Cheers.